This is unlike anything I have seen before.
It's all you, that fucking thing is funny. I hope your mother dies in front of you!
Since the untimely death of King Cobra, I wanted to examine life after loss, perhaps find moments of growth and reflection.
I did love him! Who are you?
However, what I found was a disturbing resurgence of threats, slurs, and erratic behavior. These self-documented meltdowns that continue for hours have become the norm in the world of Jessica and Boyle. Hello lovely people, hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be covering Jessica Boyle, also known as Naked and Laughing, also known as Queen Cobra. She is the former partner, the ex Josh Saunders, aka King Cobra, who unfortunately this past year he did lose his life. We're not going to be talking too much about that today. I did cover that in a different video and lots of people in the community have already discussed that. I want to focus more on Jessica's actions after. Quite a few things have been going on online. She has been going around and taking people's videos down, or at least attempting to take people's videos down. She has been live streaming and saying some pretty horrendous stuff during her live streams. I don't feel like I've heard the N-word that much in my entire life. My entire life, never heard it that much until watching some of her content. Also, I would like to go over a few screenshots that I found, as well as just having a general conversation about this behavior that I don't know what I expected. I don't know why I expected her to grow from this, but you know, I guess these patterns of behavior are a little bit difficult to break. Anyways, we're gonna hop right in, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. I really appreciate you guys sticking around, and I hope to create some more content for you guys in the future. Without further ado, let's take a look at some of these instances of Jessica's behavior. Alright, so the first screenshot that I want to discuss today is this comment that Queen Cobra left, or you know, I'm just gonna call her Jessica. That's her name. I'm just gonna refer to her as Jessica, whatever. She says, at whoever, thanks. Even if he quote unquote hated me till the end, it's because of his nasty loser trolls who buddy trolled him. I still cared. Hope he's rocking with Ozzy. Okay, so I think that this really speaks to Jessica's denial of the situation that went down. She claims that the only reason Cobra or Josh may have had negative feelings towards her is because of the trolls. I am very adamant about the point that the people who sent him alcohol, those buddy trolls, not the greatest people. I don't agree with those people doing what they did. That was not okay. I would not be able to sleep at night if I sent someone alcohol and they had an issue with alcohol. But that's a point I've already trampled over and talked about many, many times. What I do want to talk about is the lack of accountability, that the amount of strife and stress and turmoil that Jessica caused is unfathomable. I mean, she went to his house several times, and each time she went to visit him, there was always a meltdown. There was an argument. There were threats. There was I wouldn't necessarily call it blackmail, but she tried to say that he harmed her physically without much proof, evidence, or documentation of that. If anything, she was able to document herself harming herself and using it against Josh. You guys, I'm sure you guys all remember the clip where she is repeatedly hitting herself, using it to control him and manipulate him. And there was also the instance where she recorded him when he was in a very high stress state and he had an object. I can't say the object, but he had it pointed at himself. And she thought that would be a great moment to record him. And not only record him, but to post that online. And I don't know what she thought she was going to get out of these moments of manipulation. But he did not want anything to do with her after that, you know? And we're going to get into some things later on about how they still had some forms of contact, but he was adamant that he did not enjoy her company because of her, not because of trolls, not because of some external force. It was her. So in this comment, she says, yes, that's why I went to Casper last year. I'm devastated and was going to send him another care package full of jalapeno flavored foods and an Aussie shirt. I returned all the food yesterday since most didn't appeal to me. Life is too short. I feel like nothing is real. I'm empty. So this is where I mentioned before that yes, they have had some forms of contact. She has been sending him packages, which there's been a lot of speculation around the community surrounding the packages that she sent him. I don't really want to touch on that too much just because I think sometimes rumors and conspiracies can run wild, even if there isn't a lot of evidence or proof, at least not that I have seen. But when she does discuss, feeling empty, feeling as if nothing is real, I'm sure that losing Josh, even though they weren't together, I mean, losing anybody is hard. I'm sure that it has been difficult for her to navigate feelings of grief, feelings of loss, and I do feel a sense of empathy for the pain that she experienced losing him. I mean, because after all, she is a human. And like when I make my videos, I never want to come across as, oh, haha, something really bad happened to you, like you deserve it. No, nobody deserves to lose somebody, especially as young as Josh is. However, I'm gonna put there's a huge caveat on all of this. The way that she continues to behave afterwards, I don't think is like a productive solution or a productive way to handle grief. And I'm no expert on that. I know people say, I know I'm gonna sound a little bit like hoity-toity or a little bit pretentious right now. I'm no expert on grief, but I don't think going on live stream and saying the N-word 50 times is an appropriate way to handle loss. And I don't think that was exactly why she was using that language. She just seems to have a lot of emotional dysregulation. But yeah, so she has been active here and there online, but at a certain point that ceases to be so. And we're going to get into that soon.
And then Jessica Boyle, my ex-girlfriend, was just like, oh, Joshy needs me. His idol just died. It's like, no the fuck I don't, Jessica Boyle. Stay the fuck away from me, you psycho bitch.
Okay, so we hear from Josh himself that they have been in contact and he has not been receptive to that contact. Okay, so I just had to verify the dates, but Ozzy passed away in July and Cobes passed away in August. So within a month of those two, this is what Josh was saying. Because if Josh is saying that she tried to reach out to him after Ozzy passed, that was like just within the month before he passed. So I think it's safe to say that within that month of him saying, stay away from me, I want nothing to do with you, you were self-destructive. Well, he didn't say exactly, you were self-destructive, but he said she's crazy. He said he doesn't want anything to do with her within that month, and then he's gone, so he can't really advocate for himself at this point. But she was still contacting him and sending him packages and trying to maybe weasel her way back into his life. And it's sad that it was cut short. I just can't imagine how much further she would have progressed with this delusion that he wants her back. She has a chance of getting back with him. She has a chance of maybe redeeming herself and becoming his wife potentially in the future. But to me, it seems that that is not what Josh wanted by any means whatsoever. All right, so I do have the screenshot for a reason, because that last clip that we just discussed, where Josh himself clarified that he wanted nothing to do with her, he clarified that he was done with her, he doesn't want to be in contact with her. After his passing, Jessica thought it'd be a great idea to change her profile picture to a picture of them together. So this is her profile. Previously, it was this little red profile, this little icon with her like that. And then after his death, she changed her profile to this, even though he doesn't want anything to do with her. Did she also change her name? Let's see. Also, I just realized this is also interesting. Instead of just leaving her name as Queen NAL 420, she changed her name to King Cobra now. And that's interesting to me because I'm like, you're not with him anymore. Like, this is bordering on delusional. Like, you are not associated with him anymore. And to me, I think it's a little bit telling that without Josh, a majority of us would have no idea who she is. I never heard of her until she started dating Josh, until they started getting into altercations, until they had their messy breakup. No one knew who she was. And so for her to essentially use his name, use this, or use a likeness to his name, use this picture after his death, I find it kind of fucked up. Like, that's not your man, okay? That's not how this works. You don't just get to pretend and live in La La Land that you guys were on good terms and everything was great between you two after he's gone and he can't say anything to the contrary. Also, I think it's interesting that this little blip right here that says no one has permission to reuse my content. No one. Okay, yeah, whatever. It's fair use, it's transformative, but I don't want to get into all that YouTube jargon and stuff like that, but let's continue. Okay, so this was a post where she says, "Hey Kiwis, seek therapy. That forum is no place to be a snowflake or seethe. Cope harder." I think for those of you who don't know, Kiwi Farms is a forum where people discuss different online personalities and different aspects of their lives. I try not to get too far into the trenches over there. I just try and see what information is relevant and leave with that, you know? But for someone like Jessica to actively go on Kiwi Farms is kind of questionable because, like, it's not a place for people that are faint of heart, okay? I'm just gonna put it that way. Like, if you are easily offended, don't go to that website. If you are a problematic person and they're posting about you and you can't handle that criticism, the way that they criticize people, you should not be on that website. You should not be reading about yourself. You should not be engaging. You shouldn't be engaging with that website. And also, you shouldn't be taunting them on your platform. Where she says, "Hey, Kiwis, go seek therapy." Where do you think I got this screenshot from, guys? Like it's almost like baiting them and then being upset when they give a response. Like, it's like you don't want to bicker with people online. I think it's probably one of the most embarrassing, shameless, and unproductive things you can do on the internet. Don't bicker with people. Like, if you're gonna post yourself being erratic online, people are going to talk about it. People are gonna have questions. People are gonna make statements. And she seems to actively engage in a community that she cannot handle. Here is yet another screenshot. I'm gonna read it out for you guys. I don't know, do you guys like to listen to my videos while you're like cleaning or something, or do you actually like watch the screen? I don't know, I'm curious about that. For those of you who might be doing laundry or something, that's normally what I do when I listen to YouTube. I'm gonna read this for you guys. "Wah wah, piggy, no one cares about your house. Leave me the fuck alone, or are you too R-word? You're crying fake tears, but can't even figure out why I would do such a thing. Parents never tested you for being a R-word. Wow. Also, Kiwis, whatever quote-unquote package Josh got some months ago was not for me. See, you write dumb shit assuming you know everything when all actuality you don't really know much about anything. So I'll tell you right here, right now, since you're already here stalking me. Yeah, I don't know what loser ran did that, but it wasn't me. I know how to send a care package. Whoever they are don't matter because they clearly sucked. Quit believing everything when you don't even have the facts. Makes you weird-ass Kiwi basement dwellers more unhinged every day." Okay, so yeah, here we go. She's using the R word as a derogatory term, as an insult, which I don't have the mental energy or the capacity to explain why you shouldn't be just throwing that word at people, why it is insulting, but whatever. This is yet another example of her actively engaging with the people on Kiwi Farms and getting into these weird like spats with them. And it's not even like she's posting directly on the forum. She's posting on her page, and she knows people are gonna see this, and she knows they're gonna run back to Kiwi Farms and discuss that. But not only that, she has had to have been actively reading these forums about herself to see that there has been discussion about this care package. Now, I'm gonna kind of briefly cover why everyone's concerned about the care package, and I don't have a lawyer, guys. I can't afford a lawyer, so I'm just gonna say all of this is alleged. This is all pure speculation, rumors. I have no confirmation of this being true or untrue, and I don't really want to get too messy into the mud, into the waters, all that type of shit. But just to keep those of you who are unaware updated, essentially, allegedly, people are saying that Jessica sent Cobra a care package with substances in it from like plant-based, like a plant substance that could have contributed to him being sick or being unwell. I haven't seen any evidence of this. I've seen people talking about it a lot, but I can't necessarily nail anything down and find anything concrete. But also, I think it's a little bit messy to get really far into this when, you know, we're talking about someone who lost their life and their family has been impacted by this. I just wanted to give you guys context for why there's been so many references to care packages. But again, all of this is alleged. I don't know what extent to the truth or what extent I actually believe that this is a possibility, that she in some way contributed to what happened. I'll be honest, I think more sending alcohol probably contributed to what happened with Josh. But I'm gonna move on because it's a really touchy subject and I don't want to get dirt under my nails. All right, I'm gonna try and read this one, but I don't know what these letters mean. She says, and carry the FA. I don't know. I was just trying to think of something like that could possibly be positive that she would say. I don't think I've ever heard her say anything positive. Like, not once. That's sad. Anyways, fat as fuck. I'm assuming this means something like fat as fuck DNR. I don't know what that. If it's what I think it means, I can't say that. I can't say that. No, we're not. No, we're not going. No, we're not going down that route. We'll save that for later. We'll save all that extra bullshit for later. Anyways, and carry the FAF DNR who gets beat. LMAO. I had 30K at one point. Your point being what again? Better hurry and make some slop for your DV husband. Oh wait, you can't cook. Oh my god. Just spread your legs and oh my god. Oh my, I'm not gonna read this out loud. Sorry for the people that are doing your laundry and you can't look at the screen right now. But she's saying I don't even want to say that. It's really gross. And then she also says, I like playing games too. Games of proof, truth, and consequences of lies. Grape, grape, grape. So to me, this reads as she got into some type of altercation with somebody named Carrie, who she keeps mentioning a lot. It's like she seems to be public enemy number one. Like, she fucking hates Carrie. Carrie, I don't know what you did, but yeah, you pissed off you pissed off Jessica. I don't know what the context is for this, but like, there's a way to discuss somebody, and like I feel like there's a tactful way to insult somebody, but she goes for these really low blows, like talking about people's genitalia or sexual relations, DV. And in the second little part right down here, it seems like she's alluding to some type of allegations that include SA, and maybe she's inferring that the girl or the woman Carrie is lying about them. But how would you know that? Like, how would you know if she is lying about that? Why are you bringing this up? It's just very, I don't know. I could just definitely tell that, Jessica, you're not a girl's girl. Like, it's 2025, and if you have nothing to say that's nice or helpful or I guess contributes to like a larger conversation, just don't say anything. She just goes off on these tirades against everybody over everything. And like, doesn't it get exhausting? I feel like I would be so tired if I had to justify and attack and lunge and seethe at every little comment, every statement that someone makes about me. And I would not be able to go and actively seek that stuff out and read through. Like, I'm telling you guys, the Kiwi Farms forums are like, I think hers is like almost 200 pages long. How do I know that? Because I've been digging, honey. I've been digging. It's exhausting reading that stuff, and I'm not even directly involved. I'm just gathering information, and it's a lot. It is a lot of stuff. This is not normal behavior, especially for an adult woman. Like, I could see if maybe she was like 16 I honestly feel like she's a little bit kind of stuck at that 16-year-old mindset of I'll post this stuff on the internet and not worry about the consequences whatsoever. So we have yet again another screenshot, and I'm gonna read it out for you guys. Hussy. Sweetie, Shug, Hussy. I thought I told her I did. I did tell Carrie my troll no, but, and I didn't listen. Listen up, Buttercup. Are you listening? Fates, Fatessica? What? I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I'm having a stroke reading this. I don't understand if this is like slam poetry or something. All right, maybe she meant fake Essica, whatever. It's a snake. I'm just gonna say she. She is a snake in the grass waiting to ruin your channel, but ain't nobody gonna tell you the truth about that but me. Carrie, another snake in the grass. Does she have part ownership in your channel? If not, why did you just let me get you to prove a point? Those are slow golf claps, by the way. Ay, Dios me. What the fuck? You had it right the first time, Hussy. Don't play obtuse. I don't want to hear the crying. Figure it out because they're both literally trying to take down and ruin your channel. I just proved it to you. Figure it out. I guess you also weren't listening to me the other day, Hussy, when I told you, don't you even dare try it. Yet you thought you were being cute. Okay. This is really reminiscent. If you haven't seen my other videos, I'll try and put one in the cards so you can take a look at it. But this reminds me of those early day live journal posts that she would make where she would just go off and almost in a way like when she would go off, she was doing like the, what's it called? The Z snap. Like, I told you, like I said what I said and I meant what I said. I have one up on everybody. I know better than everybody. I know exactly what's going down. Like, I am 100% right in all this situation. Also, it just doesn't read well. I don't have a lot of context for this, but again, she mentions Carrie, who she seems to be beefing with real fucking hard. She does not like Carrie, but it seems like people are trying to get each other's channels taken down. I don't want to get involved in all that bullshit, but like, she had to sit and type all of this out, and it's like, did you not think to just pause and just let it go? Just let it go. Like, it doesn't seem worth this amount of effort over like YouTube beef, you know? Okay, so I'm not gonna read through all these screenshots because not only do I think that there is context missing, it seems like this was like in a live chat and someone was able to like filter out the messages that she sent. But she also just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, it's just a lot. And when I tell you it's a lot, I'm not lying. I'm not sugarcoating it. Keep crying on kiwi farms. Grape, 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 grape. I'm living my life. I check in every now and then just to laugh at you. I don't know. Like, what kind of life is she really living, though? Seek help because daddy was never there. Stay bored. Fat troll with a fat nose. FBI detective surveillance type ish, and yes, I spelled that wrong. Pics of her coming out of her house. Yeah, she just really, like, guys. Okay, I'm just gonna go through all of these. The truth is, I'm a little bit chronically online, but you will never catch me just like making post after post after, or should I say comment after, like, look at this. Like, this is so much. And she has to be doing this for hours. And I just don't understand. It's not healthy. None of it is healthy. I'm laughing. You're raging. You burnt in effort. Oh my gosh. All right. So that's all I have for the screenshots, but we're going to get into some actual video footage. Before we get into that footage, I have to warn you that there is some I tried to censor as much as I could. There is some very not nice language. And it's kind of, I don't know how to describe it. I wouldn't necessarily say it's disturbing, but maybe that's because I've been desensitized after listening to her say the N-word so many times. So many times. But we're going to get into that footage, but I'm going to take a quick little break because my throat's dry. All right, after a short reprieve, we're back into the recording. All right, before we dive into this video, I do want to give a little warning to any headphone users that it can potentially be a little bit loud and annoying. Someone described her noises as a donkey, and I can't unhear it. It was a little bit funny. Not gonna lie, I did laugh because of that comparison, but to me it sounds like she's hyperventilating, which isn't funny. It sounds like she's extremely emotionally distressed, But I will say any sympathy, any sympathy that I had for her at this point in time, it kind of flew out the window once we go a little bit further. Hold on to your hats, guys. It's about to get crazy. She kind of sounds like she's going through like some type of transformation. I don't know if you guys have ever watched, gosh, what's it called? Van Helsing, where the guy is just like ripping off all of his skin and flesh and he turns into this giant ass beastie beefy werewolf, and it looks like it's incredibly painful. It sounds like she's in an incredible amount of pain, but she decides to redirect that pain and lash out at people.
It's all you. I hope your mother dies in front of you. And I hope you laugh and at the same time. And also get your at the same time. Your asshole is what I mean. Your asshole. I hope you laugh, cry, and get your in the middle of the night. That is what I hope and wish for you.
Okay, so in this clip, she's clearly having another one of her meltdowns and tantrums. And I don't know necessarily who this is directed at, who these words filled with vitriol are directed towards, but she constantly alludes to things that I would call interfamily relations. She constantly references SA. She constantly references violent, harmful acts, and she wishes this upon other people. And I just don't know what state of mind you have to be in to think that it's appropriate to say these things to anybody, to anybody, let alone people that you don't know, strangers on the internet. And this is a moment where I'm under the impression that she is intoxicated and under the influence of some substance, I don't know. But this is a moment where she could have just not live streamed, just logged off, just decided to not speak, or just ignore the people that are bothering you, because what she's doing is giving them the exact reaction that they want. It like I said, I have a morbid fascination with this stuff. It's like watching a train wreck. And if she didn't post this stuff, I would just move on to something else, to some other content, to some other topic. But she has continued to do this, and I don't know why I thought she would improve. Maybe I thought that she would get a bigger picture out of life and like try and do better after seeing what happened with Josh and his health. I thought maybe she might take that as a sign to do better, but it seems that she did the exact opposite.
Will on her face!
Okay, so I don't think Jessica I don't think she actually has the intentions of finding somebody and throwing down in the middle of the street. I don't think that's what her intentions are. But she seems like the person that maybe she feels that the louder she barks, people will fear the bite. Maybe she thinks that people will feel intimidated or threatened by her, or maybe they'll back off and leave her alone. But at the same time, I don't think that anyone really cares that much to provoke her to fight her physically. I think they're just doing it to get this exact reaction out of her. And like she has referenced violence so much, so much, especially like in her live journals, where she alluded to wanting to poison her own mother. She talked about wanting to like kick people's teeth in and fight them and do all these types of things. And, you know, as an adult, you have to understand at a certain point, you can't just walk around and act like this, especially in public. I think she was probably in a Walmart parking lot or something screaming like that at Lord knows what time. It's just inappropriate behavior. It's not productive. And also, like, I don't think it's good for her health. Like, being that elevated and screaming for hours on end, I feel like that would elevate your blood pressure. Like, I feel like that might be a little bit stressful. I don't want to say, oh, dude, like, take a chill pill. But maybe some type of medication that could help level out her emotional highs and lows might be helpful, might be beneficial. But I'm not a professional. I genuinely think she needs to seek professional help.
Oh, well, gee willikers, wasn't it just in June that he was asking for like 200? June? It's been like 3 months almost. Like June that he was asking for like $200 for a phone because his refurbished iPhone that he buys is $150. So you hassle ass Alex, the bing bop boom.
Oh God.
You couldn't buy your supposed best friend $150 phone in the right color that he would have used?
Okay, so in this clip, she's perched during a live stream with a Burger King crown on top of her head. I didn't even know they still sold those or still gave those out. But, you know, she's complaining about finances. I think this is referencing to someone buying Cobra a phone. And she's like, that wasn't the right phone. So maybe she was like trying to get in contact with him and she was upset that she couldn't get in contact with him. The only reason I included this clip is just because I thought the little bing bop boom bop, like I just thought that was funny. But yeah, I don't understand why she's complaining about the phone when I don't think Cobes wanted to be in contact with her. I honestly, I think it's for the best that they split ways. There was limited contact because every time there was contact between the two, it was explosive. It's like when you add potassium and water together and it's just, and it's not like good chemistry. It's not good chemistry. It's like explosive chemistry. All right, I'm just gonna pause this. Maybe this is a portion of like alternative or gothic subculture that I don't really understand. You know, some people do like headbanging and stuff like that, and it's like an expressive form of dance. But this feels erratic, uncoordinated. It seems more like whiplash than a form of dance. If I was behaving in this manner, I would pray to the stars above that there would be someone in my life that would say, hey, you need to go log off. You need to take a break. Drink some water, go lay down, and just take a break from the internet. I just can't imagine being up at 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever time she's filming this and just whipping my head back and forth and waving my arms erratically to where my shelves full of hodgepodge knickknacks look like they're about to collapse. It's not a good look. At a certain point, you gotta grow up and realize that this is unbecoming. It's very awkward to watch. But hey, she's rocking out, so like this honestly isn't too bad. Like in retrospect to a lot of the other things she says and does, this isn't too bad. I'm also confused as to how she didn't like get physically ill doing that, like physically nauseous. Seems like all these clips are from the same live stream because she's wearing the same outfit. So I just could not imagine talking into a camera, saying crazy shit, doing crazy shit, and like how do you have the energy for this? Go to sleep, take a nap, drink some water. Self-care, take care of yourself.
And he runs, and he's like, I should have sent him a care package every month. I should have sent him one every month.
You should not send him one, or you should not have sent him one every month because he did not want to be in contact with you. Don't do it. That's not a great thought process. If someone says they're done with you and you continue to engage with them, that's where it crosses a line into harassment.
I should have. Why didn't I send him the Aussie shirt? I didn't think about that. It's not that I didn't want to. I wasn't thinking about the Aussie shirt. I would have sent that to him. I would have. Carrie, I'm moving to Madison. I'm gonna take her house.
Okay. Also, I want you to keep in mind when she discusses this Carrie person, who I have no idea who Carrie is. Every time she talks about Carrie, she references pigs in some way, shape, or form. I don't know if Carrie is Muslim, and that's why she continues to reference pigs specifically, but she really fucking has a bone to pick with this woman. I don't know what Carrie did. If you guys know, if anyone can enlighten me, tell me, what did Carrie do to invoke this wrath?
I'm gonna move into her house and make bacon every day inside of the house. I'll make split pea soup, you know, because that takes like a ham hock or whatever. He didn't deserve what? I don't know what exactly you're talking about, Frank, but he didn't deserve nothing. I'm not making any money, you dumbass. I'm not monetized, you dumbass. I did love him. Who are you?
All right, that's count 1 for the N word so far. There's going to be a lot more of that. So if that's offensive to your sensibilities, I recommend maybe you check out some of my other videos, some of my other content that's a little bit more lighthearted. But she's going to be lashing out for quite a while, quite violently from here on out.
Monetized where? Show me where. I'm not monetized, you dumb. Get real, for real. I don't care. Yeah, your mom doesn't care. Yeah, your mom don't care. You failed him in every way. You did. That's why you sent him alcohol every day, right? Alcohol? Yeah. Why don't you your mom? Her roast beef curtains are waiting. Her roast beef curtains are waiting. Do you know how to spell? Learn how to spell. If you're gonna say some shit, learn how to not be. Yeah, Carrie is a dumbass bitch. What do you think of DANB? Dumb ass bitch. Dumb ass bitch. What do you think that means? It means dumbass bitch. How many times do I have to say that? Why don't you go get by your dad?
Again, she just really doesn't like this Carrie person. But I was having a discussion with somebody in my life, and I showed them a clip of this, and I was trying to explain the type of content that I cover. I generally don't talk about it much because it involves people like Jessica. And they pointed out, and this is with no bias, with no previous experience with her content, they pointed out that someone who talks in this manner, who talks like this, probably experienced something really bad in life, some type of trauma in life. And I could agree with that. I could definitely agree that Jessica has probably been through at least something that's extremely fucked up, because there's no way that the average person walks around and uses this type of language, whether that's casually or out of frustration. So I try and take that into consideration, that yeah, she probably had some fucked up stuff happen in her life to, have this type of outcome. But to me, it still doesn't justify the continuous act of posting this online. I'm sure she knows that this isn't helpful for her. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't understand what she gets out of behaving like this. I don't think anything positive comes from it. I couldn't imagine functioning this way. Whatever did happen or may have happened to her, I definitely think that she needs to talk to someone and really get to the root of what's going on in her life. Some people speculate that she has a particular diagnosis, and that diagnosis can make it really hard to want to seek help, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. I never like to think that it's impossible for someone to change and do better in life. And that goes into like what you put into the world. Like if you're putting this type of stuff into the world, like saying you hope, like I've had to censor so much out of it, but I tried to include captions so that you guys can kind of get some more context. But when you put all this stuff into the world about hoping things happen to someone's mother and father, and I hope that involuntary acts of violence happen to you, I'm calling you slurs. Like at 40 years old, maybe 41 by this point, you have to take some kind of accountability. If something happened in your past and it led you down a really dark route, I do feel compassion and empathy for that. But once you hit a certain point where you are continuously repeating the same mistakes, engaging in the same behaviors, going into the same self-destructive loop, I don't see what this is going to accomplish. It's not accomplishing anything. And I hate to compare Cobra to Jessica, but he was someone that engaged in a certain substance use, which was not conducive to living a life that was healthy. And it was really sad to watch what ended up happening to him. And now I'm looking at Jessica like, you're doing things that are somewhat similar to him, and you're also putting negativity into the world. Like Cobra, he said some weird stuff here and there, but I don't think he was like an innately harmful person. There was some stuff I disagreed with the pets that he had. That was like kind of my biggest hang up with him, is I did not like the way he treated his animals. But other than that, like, he kind of just, was a dude that just talked at the camera. Jessica, she's a woman that's like yelling slurs and getting intoxicated seemingly multiple times. Like if you're getting like blackout intoxicated multiple times a week and like recording it, I just don't see good things happening. And I, like I said in my Cobra video, I never want to see bad things happen to people. I really don't. Like I don't want bad things to happen to her, but she seems to be putting herself on that pathway for bad things to happen. You can't want better for someone else than they want for themselves, because it's just never going to happen, you know? And I think she probably finds this to be a very comfortable lifestyle. You know, she lives with her parents, she live streams, she gets drunk, and she repeats the entire cycle over and over and over again. But yeah, it just seems like a really lonely, sad way to live, especially like by your 40s. Like, not everyone has to live the exact same cookie cutter printout of a lifestyle, but like I couldn't imagine just settling for this.
Go your dad. Oh, I'm in the center. No, we're both in the center, dumbass. How about I try to get his knuckles that said Aussie in the picture? Why don't you go your mom? Your fucking mom's roast beef curtains are in the center of your mouth. Your hole is in the center of her anus. Figure that out. Up and out of here. 6 feet under yourself. Ain't nobody gonna cry for you or make a video for you. Go make a video of your mom crying over your grave because she's the only one that cares. I don't have a Discord. You try that again. I don't have a Discord, but try again. Try harder with that one. I don't have a Discord. Thanks. Learn how to spell. It's YOU''RE. And I've cried every day, you dumb. Why don't you go get by?
Also, I feel like I should address the elephant in the room. Hi, I'm a Black content creator, if that wasn't clear. But when I say I feel like I've become desensitized to this word, I feel like at this point in the video, it doesn't really shock me because it's been said so much. But that does not, I want to address that does not take away the connotation and the impact that word has. I'm sure I don't have to educate you guys on why it's an offensive term, why it's degrading, it's dehumanizing, it's inappropriate, it's socially unacceptable, all those different words I could say to describe the language that she's using right now. I'm not taking it personally because it's not directed at me. However, I do find it incredibly distasteful, and it goes to show that when you have a person of a certain level of maturity and they can't find other language to use to express that they are upset and that they are angry, or they, you know, maybe dislike you, if that's the word that they jump to automatically, not only do I think it's inherently racist, I also just think it shows that you're a dumbass. Like, there's so many other words that you could use except for that word. But yeah, I think Jessica definitely has some negative views on certain groups, and I'm just coming to the conclusion by how casually and frequently she uses this word for it to be in her vocabulary. It's kind of shameful. Like I feel like she should be embarrassed of herself. Now, again, I'm not taking this personally because, you know, it's the internet. People are gonna say what they want to say. But that is not going to erase how people are going to view you after you put this out there. And I don't think she really cares if people think she's a racist. I honestly don't think she cares. But yeah, it's like, have some type of morals and like character. It's 2025 and we're still throwing this around. Really? Seriously? Come on now. But whatever. That's just, I have to accept that's not how the world operates. Honestly, I feel like the more inappropriate or hurtful a thing is, the more people want to say it. And that's why she's using it. It's like when a child learns the word fuck and then they go to the family cookout and that's all the kid wants to say is fuck, 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 fuck. That's kind of what Jessica, I think, is doing. It's like a level of immaturity, ignorance, stupidity. I hate to say it that way, but it's something a child would do.
Your dad. Why don't you rot already, Fiona? Why aren't you getting by your dad? Why isn't your daddy in your mouth? In your...
You see, this is exactly what I mean. This is exactly what I mean when I say it's very childish and very immature. It's like when you can think of the worst possible thing to say to somebody, so you say it, but then that's your only line of defense. You just keep repeating it over and over, but reiterating it in different ways. So like saying, I hope your daddy, blah, I hope your mama, blah, I hope this happens to one of your family members and it involves sex. That's your only thing that you can say as a rebuttal, as a deflection for the things that you say, for the things that you do. It's extremely immature.
Hole, and then your hole, and then making you suck all of it off. Why don't you calm the down? Go get by your dad. Maybe you're blackout drunk. Did you get by your dad? Yeah, you probably did. Yeah, your dad probably you. Your dad probably your anus, and then your mom had to suck it off, dumbass. Your mom sucks off your every night. Figure that out, dumb.
The amount of censoring I've had to do for this video is absolutely insane. Like, just rapid fire, bleep, 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 bleep. Oh my god.
Right? Yeah, figure that out. Go your mommy, her roast beef curtains are rotting. Okay, but you are dead. You're dead, I'm not.
Also, this is in reference to a content creator named Music Biz Marty. So, I don't know the full lore behind their interactions. Essentially, Music Biz Marty and Jessica had some beef, and I guess he was sending tow trucks to her house to tow her parents' vehicle, which I don't agree with. I think that's pretty shady. There's a difference between observing what people post online, discussing it, and actually going into the real world and trying to have some type of influence over their life, whether that's doxing them or sending things to their house or trying to get things removed from their house. I think it's pretty messed up. But Music Biz Marty interacted with Jessica in that way, and he passed away as well. I don't know exactly how he passed away. That hasn't really been clear to me. But regardless, he passed away, and Jessica is now making fun of it as like one of her enemies has fallen, which I think it's pretty disrespectful to laugh at someone who's dead. Like, it's pretty fucked up. I don't care what type of online internet beef you have with somebody. If someone dies, just, if you don't like them, just don't talk about it at all. You don't have to be disrespectful like this. But yeah, she just treats it like a huge joke.
Figure that one out real quick. Marty, dead. You dead. Don't think I don't have a notebook full of people. It doesn't matter if you're listed 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. It doesn't matter what number you are. It doesn't matter what number you are. Okay, figure that one out real quick.
Alright, so she fucking thinks she's light Yagami up in this bitch. Like, this is where I say, like, that really immature mindset. Like, this reminds me of, like, a girl in high school that walks around with, like, a hit list of all the people she wants to fight and all the people that she wants to, I don't know, stab with an ink pen or some shit like that. Like, it's really just weird behavior to have a mental note, a mental list of people that you hope perish or pass away. It's not like the flex that she thinks it is. It just makes, it's not even like, oh my gosh, we're so scared because she has this list of people that she wants to take out the game or she hopes, you know, are no longer alive. It's more so just a reflection of, you have no compassion for people. You don't know when to fucking put up a boundary and cut people off. Like, if this dude has been fucking with you, or he was fucking with you, all you had to do is ignore it. All you had to do is ignore it. But, like, I guess, like, since he died, she feels vindicated, and she feels like she was in the right, and she feels like she's powerful now. I don't know. It's just really weird to laugh at somebody dying like that. It's really disturbing behavior.
Marty was number 1 though, so that tickles me timbers, baby. Where's Timber at? Timber, shiver me timber. Show up to my house so we can end this.
Alright, so this clip right here, this is why I think so many people were speculating that she had some involvement in what happened to Cobra, because she says these threats to people. You know, she laughs about people dying and she wishes the worst upon them. So maybe it's not so far of a stretch to think that, hey, if she is able to say all of these horrible things, and she had in the past had a rocky relationship with Cobra, maybe she would have done something malicious. And I think that's where a lot of people are drawing these conclusions from, is because not only did she send him packages, but she's just like a malicious person in general, and she says stuff like you can't say, I want to show up to your house and do all these horrible things, which we're going to get into a little bit further. She says a lot of stuff, but you can't say all of these things and threaten people, outwardly threaten them. This isn't even like allegedly, she's outright saying these things. And then you can't expect people to not judge your character, judge your actions, judge the words that you say, and just look at you in a different light. Like, I wouldn't feel safe around this person. I would. Now, is that to say that all the accusations are valid and true? No, of course not. But she's acting like it's a far reach for people to come up with these conspiracies. It's the internet, baby. Like, you say some shit on the internet, people aren't just gonna forget it. This stuff sticks around.
'Cause you'll leave in a body bag, and I'll go to jail happy as can be, happy as a clam. So why don't you show up to my house so I can end you? Right now, your husband won't miss you. He'll be like, oh, thank God. She was such a pig covered in blood. I could never wash all the blood off. Every day was always a new adventure. More blood on this fat pig.
Again, she's referencing the woman Carrie. Again, Carrie, what did you do? What did you say? Because she's been going on a tirade against this woman. It seems like across multiple different live streams. And again, you see she's referencing pigs and pig blood and like wanting her to be in a body bag. And it gets worse. It gets worse. Trust me on this.
Sow cow. This triple sow cow, I can't figure her out. I'm only feeding her fiber every day. She should be losing weight, but somehow she's gaining weight. I don't know. Okay!
Oh, my ears.
Pig's blood. I can't wait to order that gallon of pig's blood I got coming to your house. And trust me, you're not gonna know when it'll happen when you least expect it. And not just 1 gallon, it's gonna be like 50 gallons of pig blood. So just wait until that happens. Everyone knows where you live now. Come to my house and I'll make bacon out of you. And then I can serve you to all my neighbors. I'll be the next Ed Gein.
All right. This whole I'm so edgy and I'm so dark act is really starting to get on my nerves because I guess she must be watching Netflix or some shit. I don't know what the Ed Gein documentary or Netflix show, I don't know, whatever she's watching, because I heard other people have been talking about this like around in my personal life and stuff. But who's gonna watch a documentary or a movie about a serial killer and then like trying to like compare themselves to a fucking serial killer? Like, can you stop? Like, it's like this right here is pathetic. Like, ooh, I'm gonna send 50 gallons of pig blood to your house and turn you into bacon. Like, this is like a 15-year-old, an edgy 15-year-old. Seriously, like grow up. Like, grow up. This is weird.
Come to my house so I can butcher you in the bacon meat, bitch. Heartbreaks and promises. I've had more than my share.
I'm so sorry to all the headphone users. I'm so sorry. I'm wearing headphones as covering this topic, and God, it's like, it's grating.
I hope all of you laughed at it. Kids, all you losers need to touch grass and get with reality. I don't believe it. This feels like...
All right, so yeah, I think this might be part of the same live stream. I just got these clips and kind of stitched them together, but this seems like the last one we have to cover. Let's take a listen to it and discuss it afterwards.
It's not real. It's not real. I wanted to be there for him so bad. And I've had so many people tell me, like, if he wasn't happy with that package, he wouldn't have shown the cheese puff thing. Because, look, he sent me but not the puff form, like the regular, like, Cheeto form. They're good, but too spicy.
All right, so yeah, that was the final clip I have. To me, it seems like she is at least somewhat affected or saddened by what happened to Josh. And that's perfectly natural. I don't fault her for feeling some forms of grief after what happened to him. It was really tragic. But everything else that she's doing just doesn't make sense to me. Attacking people online, making fun of people dying, using slurs, being racist, hoping that people are assaulted, threatening people, threatening to turn them into bacon, threatening that she's gonna send blood to their house, comparing herself to a serial killer, keeping lists of people that she hopes die. Like, I could go on and on and on and on, but you guys were here for the full video. And at this point, I don't know if Jessica was here for the full video, because my other videos that I covered her, it seemed like she went through bit by bit. You know, she had to choose the timestamps that she wanted to be modified. And so to me, it seems like she does watch content about herself. She does discuss Kiwi Farm, so she seems to engage in these behaviors, and then when there is discussion about them, she interacts with those in a variety of ways, whether it's calling it out or trying to get it taken down and removed. But we can all clearly see that she's dealing with life in a way that isn't that great. And this is directly to Jessica. If you are watching this video, I wish you no ill will. Like, there's no ill will. There's no like, oh my gosh, like I hope something bad happens to her. I legitimately think that the best case scenario is logging off for a bit, talking to somebody, because I feel like losing someone, regardless of how intimate the relationship was or how much you knew them, that's not an easy thing to go through. I think that professional help at this point would be the best course of action. You know, they have grief counselors out there that can help you. There are people that can help with substance abuse or misuse. But yeah, I'm just making this video because I saw some stuff popping up and I wanted to address it. And I wanted to do it in a way that highlights and encapsulates everything that has been going on, not just, you know, about Josh, but the way she's interacting with other people and reacting to them. I think at a certain point, it's got to be bad for your mental health. I was hoping that at a certain point she would, I guess, get better. But I think for her to get better, it would involve not being online. And I don't think that's a sacrifice that she has any interest in. But I can't tell a grown woman how to live her life. Like, she's gonna figure it out on her own and do her own thing, and it is what it is, you know? I just hope that other people don't follow the same path that she is going down. I don't think we need to put more hatred and negativity into this world. I don't think we need to threaten people to get our point across. I don't think we need to be using the N-word to insult people, regardless of their race. Like, we shouldn't just be throwing that around. But I also think that she needs to be careful about the things that she says, because now there are people that think she is a person that takes other people's lives, or at least attempts to. But that's kind of how she portrays herself to be. Like, when you say you're gonna become Ed Gein and you're comparing yourself to a notable serial killer, it's not a good look. It's not the flex that you think it is. It's not something to brag about. It's not something to be proud of. I don't know. Like, you would think that at the end of your life, people would be able to describe you as kind or caring or maybe giving, passionate, not crazy, passionate, empathetic, nurturing, educated. There's so many other things that you could be. You could be a good cook. You could be really good at gardening. You could be really good at taking care of animals. You could be good at helping the elderly. You could be good at, I don't know, writing, painting. There's like so many other things that are more fruitful. I feel like there's other things that are more fruitful and productive. This is a human being. I know some people like to use dehumanizing language and all that type of stuff. Like, do I call her crazy sometimes? Yeah. But like, at the end of the day, this is a human life, just like Josh. It's a human life. And it's just like, you watch someone actively make these very, very poor decisions. But I could go on and on about, you know, the potential that each human life has to do better and be better. I'm gonna wrap it up because we're at like almost an hour and a half of recording. But again, please subscribe to this channel. I really hope that you guys are enjoying the content I've been putting out. As always, if you do have any feedback for me, leave it in the comments. I read pretty much all my comments. I try and reply to you guys with some insightful conversations. But yeah, I hope you guys are well, taking care of yourself, taking care of your pets. Give them some love, give them some cuddles, give them some kisses and some treats. Stay safe out there. I hope you guys have a great Halloween. I hope you guys stay lovely. I'll catch you next time.